Today I sang Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson, then Yellow by Coldplay, then Wish You Were Here by Incubus, and then finally I sang Purple Rain by Prince. For the fourth song, I was initially going to do Suddenly Seymour by Ashman Howard because that's a staple of mine, and the people, the regulars of the Willow Inn, tend to like my performance of both the male and female part of that duet. But Mom wanted me to sing Purple Rain by Prince instead, so I sang that song over Suddenly Seymour by Ashman Howard. There were a couple of females who I hadn't seen before at the Willow Inn who cheered my performance of Wish You Were Here by Incubus. And the karaoke host, said that Yellow by Coldplay is one of my best ones. I have a tendency to do best on a slow-paced karaoke song because when it's slow-paced, I have time to play the tone of the original singer and the music in a way. Whereas for a faster-paced karaoke song, I'm struggling just to keep up with the lyrics. This time around, from 4 p.m. to roughly 10 p.m., there was an outdoor performance. This little karaoke of night was held outside, primarily with us under this sort of metal roof, held up by support poles. This is some tangy barbecue sauce and some pure honey. Then I got his dipping sauces for the total of 20 chicken McNuggets. And when Mom and I went to McDonald's after the karaoke night, We got a total of 5 of these milk packs. Because we needed to get some milk. And Mom didn't feel like going to Wegmans by the time we were driving back home from the Willow Inn. And by quirk of where it is, our local Wendy's and McDonald's and supermarket chain is actually a little out of the way. Because we have to go past our house in order to get to there. But we chose McDonald's over Wendy's and Wegmans over Wendy's because Mom made a comment that she likes McDonald's burgers over those of Wendy's, even though she likes Wendy's Frosties and chili. But in the car, I only mentioned the Frosties. Now, this is a double quarter pounder with cheese. I got that and a Filet-O-Fish. I like McDonald's over Wendy's because they have a fish sandwich year round, whereas Wendy's only has it seasonally. I was going to get 2 vanilla ice creams. Yeah, but it turns out they weren't having ice cream or milkshakes today. And I had to be told of this because there was a paper sign written in pen that I didn't notice because when we were at the drive-thru, I focused more intently on the menu than anything else, because after placing the Filet-O-Fish, I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to get for the second sandwich. Besides the 6 cheeseburgers that we got to have for tomorrow. and the 4 milks, not including the milk and the cheeseburger that came with the Happy Meal I ordered because I wanted the toy that comes with it, since in many aspects it's kind of like a neat collectible. And it turns out the toy was some kind of character from the movie Ron's Gone Wrong. I think it's been out for at least a year now. I don't know exactly when it was released. The character was apparently Gamer Brawny, something like that. It was a B, then then one of these, then another B. Then it ended with a DY. Gamer Brawny. Gamer Bob E. Something like that. My impression of it is that you get this gripper on the toy, has these wheels, and you squeeze on the provided push points of the gripper in order to launch Bobbery, and he'll go far with those wheels. Though my understanding in that case could be wrong. Yeah, Wegmans was overlooked because going into Wegmans is more time consuming. Plus, by that point, around 10 p.m., there was a good chance of it being closed. They used to be open 24/7, but I think that changed with the pandemic and the resulting downturn in the economy. Plus, by that point, my phone was around 15%, and I had to recharge it. It got to 15% because I played games of Bloons Tower Defense 6, and did the editing for yesterday's My Dinner video, and did Spanish lessons on the mobile app of Duolingo. And in the hours leading up to that outdoor karaoke night at the Willow Inn, in which I gave that Marine Star Film Drawing commission to one of Mom's friends and one of the staff at the Willow Inn, getting back 12 $1 bills as payment for it. And it was decided that that styrofoam drawing would be kept behind the bar. I did some driving practice right before and as Dad was taking me home back to Mom's place. First, some driving practice at that high school parking lot where I went for doing driving practice, even though there were a handful of cars, primarily in the middle of the parking lot. And at one point, their car came in and some people walked around in order to do some stuff with their car, maybe packing stuff or something like that. I did the turns excellently, letting the wheel slide through one hand and making the turns sharply when doing so was necessary. And then I repeated that when I was, more often than not, given the liberty of turning whichever way I wanted when we got to an intersection at the streets right next to the one where Mom lives off of. And as predicted, I made arbitrary decisions to go either left or right in order to get practice both going to a different place on these live low traffic streets. Only encountered one during the whole brief, maybe 5 minutes of live street practice there. One car go the other way, be on the other lane. During which I simply just had to slow down a bit and make sure to stay in my lane. Those were the only concerns in that case. And I went wherever felt right to me. Because I figured no matter where I went, Dad could easily drive us back to Mom's place. Dad said I did great with the turning and staying in control. And in the hours prior to Dad take me for that driving practice. It was a combination of not being entirely sure what to do for that day. We had thoughts of first going to driving practice, and then Dad and I would go out to eat to somewhere brand new. Most likely one of those new places that underwent new management at that plaza where the Thirsty Frog was. It's now known as the Oak Barrel, but we haven't been there while it's now under the name the Oak Barrel. But then it turned out there was going to be a karaoke night at the Willow Inn, during which, relatively early on, I had Mom go to the bar to get me a burger and fries, and then ketchup for those fries. She took some of mine, but that was fine. And when we got I initially thought the milk that came with the Happy Meal was an extra milk. That's what we initially thought when we got 5 milks instead of 4. But no, it turns out there was no mistake. I got the honey dipping sauce when I asked if they had honey. Just plain honey in response to because when I got the chicken nuggets, I wasn't sure exactly what sauces I wanted to get, so I asked them to spell out what sauces they had. And they mentioned, I think at one point they mentioned hot honey. Which led me to asking about the honey. And yes, they do have pure honey, but inherently it's easily the stickiest of their sauces. Beating out every single one by a wide margin. And when we got back from McDonald's, I had those 2 kitty fries and that cheeseburger and one of the milks that all were part of the Happy Meal besides the plastic toy. And that toy is currently in that carry-o where our printer is, as well as some photos from Mom's wedding and me and my sister as infants. during the karaoke night. I first got a Hazy Jane beer glass after trying it from a provided little plastic cup. That's probably used for shots. Planning on placing that ancient wonder around here when I get the next city expansion. For the cheeseburger I got, by default, Mom chose the cheese provolone, which is perfectly fine by me, since even Swiss is fine by me. Although it's my least favorite as far as the standard cheeses go, or at least low on my list of favorite cheeses. Yeah, but provolone is a moderate choice, being quite enjoyable to me. As for when Dan and I got to Mom's place, it turned out there were these DVDs of either collections or standalone Western TV shows. They're intended to be given to Mom's mom, and she got them along with a guitar-shaped metal pan, and she got those things along with a $2 painted image of Santa on it big plate that she got from, I think it was a barn raising sale that they do each year. It seems pretty close to what a yard sale or garage sale is, or one of those sales at the Ronald McDonald House. Those sort of things. When we got home from McDonald's, Mom had a few to a couple of the Chicken McNuggets, along with a bit earlier one of the cheeseburgers, and I think milks that we got from McDonald's. I recall getting up for today somewhere around 9 in the morning, and from then until roughly maybe around 2 p.m., it was a combination of starting the work on the new styrofoam drawing project, right as we left and thinking about trying to get that redetermine what text-to-speech voice I used for that Officer Bowler styrofoam prop character in the 99th Dan Hammond episode that I'm still working on but almost have finished. As Mom and I left for that outdoor karaoke night at the Willow Inn, we happened to see Skippy's ice cream truck, only it looks more like an actual truck and not a full ice cream van, which was a special find since it had been years since we had last seen Skippy. Mom didn't want anything, but I ultimately decided to get a Choco Taco for $4.50. The Choco Taco was enjoyable, though not as much so as I remembered it. Maybe next time I'll opt for something fruity. And at the Willow Inn, the second drink I got with a come screw shot Mom got in between the beer and that drink, that second one, after which it all, I just had glasses of water. The second drink was meant to be grape-flavored vodka with lemonade mixed in, but it ended up being grape-flavored vodka with 7-Up mixed in. It was still all great, though. I just try to get something fruity, some kind of fruit juice, rather than soda when it comes to mixed drinks at bars. because soda isn't the healthiest thing. It seems to me that fruit juice is healthier because it comes with vitamins.